Welcome back, WBZ 1030, Real Estate Radio Boston. Give us a call, 8554-ASK-RICK, 8554-ASK-RICK. And if you need a listing agent in your marketplace, I'll tell you, having a listing agent makes all the difference in the world, and they are geographical. So if, in your marketplace, give us a call at 8554-ASK-RICK. Let us make a personal introduction to a top agent in your marketplace, and I think that's what we're going to talk about this segment.
We are. We're going to talk about
house.
How top agents actually shorten the time frame of marketing, get you the top dollar, and some of the strategies that they employ in order to be able to showcase your property effectively.
Now, Ali, I don't know about you, but I am hearing from people that are looking to go out and list their property. They're drinking this media cuckoo juice that is just really easy right now to sell a listing. And why can't they do it themselves? I'm just going to do it. I'll save the commission. They've got this commission in their head, and
I think there's a legitimate, logical thought process behind that. Because let's face it, week in, week out, we talk about the fact that there is restrictive inventory out there, and we showcase North Shore, South Shore, the city itself. And we hear, 1 or 2 months of inventory, 0.1, 0.2 months of inventory. I mean, as far as absorption rates,
right.
I mean, really, really tough, constrictive market, tough for buyers that have to deal with multiple offer situations, etc. So, you know what? Quite honestly, I'm not surprised for sellers to say, why shouldn't I just market the property on my own?
Right.
Or why do I need to prepare my home effectively? Because ultimately, it's going to get listed on a weekend, and it's going to fly off the shelf the next day. So I think there's legitimate logic behind it.
Yeah.
But I think the numbers don't speak the same story.
Well, that's the thing. And so, yes, chances are, if you are able to, if you put the house on the market and you find someone to put it on MLS for you, and you will probably get that property sold. There's probably no question, right?
Yeah.
But it's for how much? It's for how much are you going to get that property sold by you listing it yourself, taking the photographs on your iPhone, by moving some things around, maybe dusting a little bit.
Or even worse, not have any photos at all.
Oh, yeah, a Polaroid.
Yeah.
They still have those, don't they? Anyway, that's it, guys. You will sell your house. There's no doubt about that. But what we want to talk about in this segment is how are you going to set your property up for success to get, yes, multiple people bidding on your property, to get top dollar for your property. And, we're going to talk, about a bunch of different things, but we also have Mike Dunne in studio as well, as he is every single week. Mike, thanks for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you are with Real Estate Media Services, and so you guys, full disclosure, you guys tape the show every single week, and
Correct.
So thanks a lot. But
yeah,
but really, where your bread and butter is you go out and you can turn a piece of real estate into almost art. You go in there and you take the professional photography, and you got a lot of different things that you add to it, really more than a lot of real estate photographers out there. Tell us a little bit about Real Estate Media Services, and then I want to talk a little bit about what you guys bring to the table that they're just not getting at other photographers.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. So essentially, we are a media marketing company for real estate agents. That's what we pride ourselves on. That's, like you said, bread and butter is the best way to put it. Mainly through the photography end. But since the photography end, we started with photography. We started with home video tours, kind of like the HGTV kind of video tours. That's kind of where we got our starter, where like the derivative of the company kind of came from, was just looking at a lot of how we were viewing homes, I guess. Now, photos aren't just enough. We kind of look towards trying to market the entire house from the video, the photos, and now we have things like Dollhouse. We do virtual tours. Anything,
well, let's break
everything.
it down. Let's break it down.
Yeah.
You're throwing so many different terms of art at us. We're not in this business, Mike.
Yes, that's true.
Giving the listeners a perspective. The majority of consumer searches start on the internet. All right, so they do their searches on the internet, and what do they have to go by? What is it that's selling that property? Well, sure, the zip code. Sure, the purchase price. But at the same time, they want to be able to gain an appreciation of what that house is like.
I've heard some crazy statistics. Like you literally have something like 5 seconds to wow via pictures before they actually go to the next property. I mean, it's and so that really comes into, yes, property, you know, the cost and the zip code, but really at the end of the day, do they want to live in that home? Do they want to buy that home?
And the techniques you're talking about, which is professional photography that clearly showcases the features of the home, and then you talk about the virtual tour, which is a video guided walk throughout the property, and in some cases, and perhaps in most cases, you guys are actually telling a story. You're telling it what it is like to actually live in this property. What are some of the features of this property? Is there a jacuzzi? How many bedrooms? What do the bedrooms look like? Is there a bathroom in that bedroom? So on and so forth. And then you mentioned dollhouse. We hear about that quite often. I'm not sure what that is. What is it?
Sure, it's picked up a lot of steam over the past couple of years. Essentially, the easiest way to look at it is if you look at your house as if it had a variety of hotspots. Like, what are the features of the home to where essentially you can use your mouse on your computer. I guess if you're looking at one of our Matterport dollhouse tours, you can use the arrows to go forward, backwards, side to side. Nowadays, you can use the virtual tour headsets, the VR headsets. You can do that. You can go walk through it. So it's essentially a video tour in like a dream world or something.
At your own speed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I'll tell you how I would do it, right? I'd be down in the basement, literally scooting around the man cave. My wife would be taking a lot of time looking around the kitchen, moving around easily. It's at your pace. It's at how you want to go and tour this house via video.
Well, focal points, right? I think when I've seen these dollhouse features, they talk about focal points. Kitchen is a critical focal point for people. Yeah. Areas where people gather, living room, the master bedroom, the bathroom, so on and so forth. But the cool part of the dollhouse is that it literally feels as though you're walking through the property while you're clicking, like you said, in these different focal points.
And the video camera only does so much.
Right.
It only gives you that certain perspective. The virtual tour just gives you a whole different perspective on
And
the
let's
home.
face it, I mean, we talk about the searches starting on the internet. We are also talking about international clients that may not have the luxury of being here to tour a home.
Yeah.
And we're talking about individuals that are relocating to this area, and they may not have the luxury of touring every single home. So it's really an effective way of being able to showcase a property, gain the appreciation, market to that particular crowd, and set certain expectations before they come.
And again, back to my point at the beginning, you will sell your house in this market, but will you sell it for top dollar and to the right person? If you have one of the dollhouses in your home and you have this, you have them go through it, and then they were marketing and someone from overseas that is looking to pay cash and not even sight unseen, they can't do that with a couple of pictures up on MLS. They certainly need this technology. You guys also do a lot of drone photography as well, which is hot.
Goes a long way with showing developing properties, homes on waterfronts, all that kind of stuff. It goes a long way, the drone photography.
Developing properties, that's really interesting, because I think a lot of people are challenged with visualizing what the property is ultimately going to look like, right? And that's something that you guys can guide through, by really talking to the architect, the engineer, the real estate agent, and the builder to be able to give a fairly good appreciation of what ultimately the end product is going to look like.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so we've got kind of back to our point. There's a lot of things that the sellers need to do in order to maximize, and so you've obviously got the photography all handled. We've talked a lot about in this show about staging your home and taking the clutter out.
Oh yeah.
Removing big furniture out, really staging this for success.
Depersonalizing.
Yep.
Because what we've seen, a lot of effective agents are talking about the fact that you want to remove items of personal effects to allow the buyer to feel themselves living in the home,
right?
And they don't feel like they're intruding upon somebody else's home.
So if you do this right, guys, if you're looking to sell your home and you do this right, then you're going to need a real estate agent, because they have to go through all of the offers in which you receive. And what we'll tell you is the highest offer is not always
the best
offer. And again, where people go sideways when they list their own home and they're not educated around who the reputable bank is, or what the timelines look like and that type of thing, you'll get burned because you're gonna accept the highest offer and the appraisal's not going to come in, and you're going to probably sell it for less than what you thought you were going to sell it for,
while you're having carrying costs the entire time.
That's right. So guys, at the end of the day, the reason for this is you need to hire a real estate professional who is phenomenal at getting you ready for the market, getting you ready for staging, getting you the highest priced that you could possibly
can.
And
if you're a real estate agent out there, before we forget, RE Media Services is offering a promotion. If you go to the Real Estate Media Services website, which is
remediaservices.com, you can type in WBZ for 25% off discount on your first appointment with us.
Awesome.
You
Mike,
can book
thank
online.
you for coming in the studio.
Thanks, guys.
If you're just tuning in, this is Real Estate Radio Boston. Ali and I will be right back. Stay tuned.